guys, we have another comparison and a repair on the old mullet machine. Tonight, we're kind of comparing two different brand hoses. One is this brand here, I'm sure you've all heard of. And the other one I got from an Amazonian site, and it's a Gates hose. They look close. We're gonna see which one is more closer, more gooder. And this one has a fitting. This is the Gates hose. This has a fitting, and if you read this, it says some of them require that at an idle. They have 2 extra little hoses or something. Something like that. Well, ours doesn't. So it just says tighten these so they don't leak. So we're going to listen. We're going to tighten those. But the good thing is I have held on to that hose for so long that I can't no longer return it. Yep, sure did. And so that's a plus. But the even more gooder thing is we have the mullet machine. I mean, we're going full tilt on her. And I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out. We'll be doing body work in no time. Tonight we're going to do that. And I'm going to replace these hoses. I want you to see these hoses. I don't know if these are performance hoses or an actual water hose that's been cut up. And you'll see what I mean. Stay, sit. Whew, this thing never listens. But as you can see, it's kind of reddish and just... I've seen these on the Caprice cop cars and stuff like that. And it's a heavy duty type hose. And it does appear to be 3/4 inch, but just for gigs, we might go ahead and replace that. I don't know. We may. If I knew it was a garden hose, I absolutely would. And we went to that same store and we bought 6 foot of 3/4 hose. Wherever I put it. God bless. I lose everything. Anyway, we're gonna get started. So what you're gonna need at least is a 16 and an 18, it looked like, wrench. And I hate to be the salesman here. I have not tried the Harbinese Freight ones. If their wrenches are anything compared to the Snap-on, these suckers are like having vice grips, but better on these lines. I'm telling you, it's hard to beat a Snap-on line wrench. Ask anybody. But we're going to go ahead and replace the high pressure line. Just because we think that's the one leaking. We didn't really delve into it too much. And besides, if it's the low line, it's already been professionally repaired once, because I see some hose clamps down there, and you know, just like right there-ish that you can't see. How about now? Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Yeah. Right there. So usually, I mean, the hose clamp could have backed off. We might check it. We might not. We probably will check it. But we're going to go ahead and replace this hose since I've already bought 2. And then hopefully the Gates is close so we can take the other one back. And yeah, so the first one we'll have to remove is right down here on the steering gearbox. This feller, right here. And yeah. So I'm gonna bust that sucker loose, and then on the bottom there, I don't know if I have to get under the car or I can do some voodoo magic and get it from the top. But either way, I'll definitely let you know how I get that. But there's no sense in you guys watching me sweat my fat butt off and try at these, okay? So first I'm gonna do the top hose, then I'm gonna do that hose behind it, okay? Give me a few minutes, and then we're going to compare the hoses, see which one's closer. Give me a few minutes. Well, to get that hose off, yep, you see it. Get your butt underneath that car. And also, what I thought was going to be better with line wrenches, in my particular case, was not. I would suggest buying a good quality wrench. It was 18 on the steering gearbox, and it's a 16 on the back of the pump. The reason why I recommend a good wrench is, one, I am a big fan of these Icons, and believe me, they don't pay me a darn dime to say that. These things are amazing. What happens with these cheap wrenches, and your line wrenches are included, is these actually will spread whenever you're putting torque on them. That being said, if you're slipping, you're rounding bolts off, you know, and that's not gooder. That's not gooder any day. But back to the old meat and taters of her. Which one do you think won? Yep, you're right. It's the Gates one, and it's not even close. So here's your OG original, and I'll show you. Let me shut off this fan so you might be able to hear my pretty voice. The Gates is yeah, it's right on. I mean, it's a mirror, with the exception of this piece here. But all we have to do is tighten that, and bada boom, bada bang, to bang. Don't even matter. This one here is not exactly at all. It's not even, it's just, well, I mean, I'll even compare it to the Gates. This is bent wrong, and this is twisted. I guess that's twisted a little bit that way, but you would seriously have to bend this way to get this even in there. Yep, guess which one I'm going with. The one, luckily, that I can't sand back. So I'm gonna cut this tag off of here, tighten these. It didn't say to put any sealer on, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna hit them with the old elbow tensioner. Then we're gonna go back on. Also, you might want to get a drain pan. Probably should have mentioned that, because yep, it's gonna leak. It's gonna leak it all out. And another telltale sign that this was probably, and by probably, I mean about 100% chance that this was the leak. Look at all this buildup right here. And then, get a nice, clean, shiny side right there. And that's not from me undoing it. More than likely, it's been leaking down this hose. And all around in there and all that goodness. I mean, the hose is actually not bad until you get right here. Not here, but right there. You know, so hopefully we're sniffing in the right directions. I think we are. So, this brand, yep, I can't say as I recommend it. I would say go with the Amazonian and go with the Gates. What number is this? Hold on, if you have an IROC Z or a 3rd gen, they're probably all the same. This is the one they sent me, and this is the part number. Right here. That one, old number, apparently that's the new number. There's another number. There's some more writing. But you know, that's the one that they sent me. So that's the one I absolutely would recommend, because it's built identical to the other. And I think it was remotely close to the price of the other one. The Autozonian Duralast one was 22 or 23 bucks. And I don't know how much the other one was, but maybe 30. But it's going to be direct bolt on with no headaches. Check, please. That's me. All right, so I'm going to crawl back under there, put it on, and that'll wrap this thing up, I think. I'll show you a few more tricks to the trade if you don't know. And then, yeah, we'll put a spin and polish on it in just a few minutes. Well, kids, we got her. Those hoses are a little bit of pain in the butt to start, so don't worry if it takes you more than 3 or 4 minutes, because it definitely took me longer. Got everything buttoned up, and I've said it once, maybe twice, I can't remember. But traditionally, you use power steering fluid, right? Or if you don't have any laying around and you have an older car, and such as a 80s iconic mullet machine, and I've done this several times, use the old, automatic transmission fluid. It won't hurt it. Do not use anything else besides either automatic transmission fluid if you feel safe with it, or power steering fluid. I just don't have any power steering fluid. So, and I know that works. So you're going to have air in this system, and there's a real simple way to get it out. You just turn the steering wheel back and forth, and you look for leaks. Like if you hear a dang it, you didn't get the leak. But we're pretty happy with this one. I'm pretty daggone sure we absolutely found the leak, and pretty happy with it. We didn't start it. Do you want to start it and hear the leak? The leak. Listen at me. Not the leak, the old whine button. Forgot to cut on jack stand. Hold on a second here. That's how confident we are. Huh? Slide that up on out the way. Now, again, if you've bypassed your neutral safety switch, make sure she's out of gear. Hear it? Well, you probably could have heard it if this thing had any exhaust, but it doesn't. I kind of love it. And the gooder thing is, I have like 3 gauges working. That one, that one, that one, and apparently the brake light. So we probably have a leak somewhere. The ripums, it doesn't work. The oil pressure doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure the coolant temperature doesn't work. It hasn't moved. And I've taken it down the road and it's been like 100 degrees. So it should have been above 100 already. And I was letting her eat too. So pretty sure, well, we're gonna call it a victory early, just because it feels like the right thing to do. After you turn that steering wheel back and forth, you'll have to check your level, because it might be on another level, like it could be low. That actually looks good. It's got add, hot, cold, full, And it's on the cold full mark, so we're just gonna leave it right there. And whenever she starts whining again, we'll tell it to suck it up. No, we'll top it off and do all that good stuff. So my take is, fellettes, stay away from this one. She's not what it's meant to be. Also, I don't care if you have to use your old seals. Make sure you have those little O-ring seals on. Make sure they don't fall off. This one actually fell off on the top side right here. And I had a light so I could see that it had done being folded off. It done fell off and all that good stuff. So make sure you have lighting. Lighting helps, and a jack stand so you don't die under it. Safety first, kids. And power steering fluid and or transmission fluid to do this job. And I think that's about it. An 18 and a 16 millimeter. And you pretty much got this one under wraps. Both of those hoses, both ends of that hose is going to fight you. Just so you know, it's going to fight you. The one in the back fought me, and it was the first one I put in. And then the one in the steering gear really fought me. And it looks like it's straight on. You're like, how in the world does this thing, how's it fighting me? It's right there. But it did. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the old mullet machine. And if you don't mind, we're just gonna, if you just right down there in the bottom, you hit that old click and subscribe, like button. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' comments on videos like this and past videos. I really appreciate the feedback and comments. So it really means a lot to me. Thanks to all you guys that subscribe. Tell your friends. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV.